Excel functions in Tableau. For this module, we will cover how to filter the data, do a sum calculation, find the percentage of total, and to use the if function. In our worksheet, under the product column, there are many different Nintendo products. We can filter these products by dragging product to the filter shelf. Under the General tab, click None to deselect all options. Now, let's select all products that start with Nintendo and click OK. The table now only shows what we have just selected. Now, let's drag product away first and retry again. Put product back into the filter shelf. This time, we can choose wildcard to search based on whether it contains, starts with, ends with, or exactly matches with what we type. Let's choose starts with and type Nintendo so that any text starting with this word would be shown. See here that we got the same result as before. To filter the top three, let's hover over Product and click on the icon. Choose Edit Filter and this time go to the Top tab. Click on By Field. Here we can choose top or bottom. Next, change the number to top 3. In the drop-down menu, choose hardware sales as the measure. Click OK. Now, the top 3 products starting with Nintendo is shown. Let's undo what we just did by clicking on this icon here. Let's edit the filter again. This time, choose Condition and By Field. In the drop-down menu, choose Hardware Sales again. Next, we can choose different signs here. For example, there is equal to, not equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. As we can see in the table here, the top 3 products all have sales that are above 70. So let's type 70 here and click OK. Again, we get the same results as before. Now let's remove the product filtering and put hardware sales instead. A menu with a pop-up asking how we want to filter the measure will appear. Let's choose Sum. Here we can choose a range of values. At least, at most, and special. We can choose to show null values, non-null values, or all values. Referring back to the table, we can see that the top 3 hardware sales is now greater than 100. So let's click on At Least and change the value to 100. If we go back to range of values, note that the lowest value has changed to 100 too. Click Apply, and now we have the overall top 3 products. Before we go into the sum function, let's remove the filter first. Let's try to find the overall sales for each product. Right-click the space here and choose Create Calculated field. If the default pop-up you see is like this, click on the little arrow here to show the function menu. On the right, there is a simple description and examples for our reference. Now, let's rename this field to Sum of Sales. And type the calculation. Type sum. And we can search the function on the right to see the details. Continuing on, type the field we want to make a sum for. Add the sum for software sales too. Check that the calculation is valid and click OK. On the left, we can find our newly created calculated field. Drag it to the sheet and a new column will appear. Next, let's also add the grand total for each column. On the left pane, click on Analytics. Under Summarize, click on Total and drop it onto the worksheet. A grand total row is now created. Let's try to find the percentage of total for each product under Hardware Sales and Software Sales. Right-click on Hardware Sales, go to Quick Table Calculations and choose Percentage of Total. The field is now replaced with the table calculation. Let's do the same for Software Sales too. To show the sales figures again, simply drag and drop them into the Measure Names shelf. We can do the same for our total sales. To use the if function, let's create a calculated field again and rename it to Product Group. Let's start typing if and press Enter. On the right side, the details will be shown. Let's put the condition now. If the product contains the word we, then we'll group and call it we. If the product contains the word boy, then we'll group and call it Game Boy. If the product contains the word Nintendo, then we'll call the group Nintendo. For others, we'll just call them Family. Type End and check if it is valid. Click OK. Now drag the new field to Row and put it before Product. Here, the products are now grouped under the title we gave them. Alternatively, we can use the grouping function. Right-click on Product, Create, and choose Group. Click on the first Nintendo product. Hold Shift and click on the last one to multiple select. Right-click and group. Rename it. Now do the same for others too. Now we have all the groups here. Click OK. Let's remove the function and replace it with our new group. Again, we get the same result. This is the end of our module. You can move on to the next module, Intermediate Hands-On, Bar Charts and Line Charts.